You're listening to the Marriage Clinic Podcast, a podcast on love, marriage, and personal development. Our purpose is to inspire and equip you with knowledge and skills to enable you to have lasting and fulfilling relationships. Now, your host, Joshua Margaret.
Welcome, good evening. My name is Joshua Mogri and you are welcome to the Marriage Clinic Podcast. This is the best time to share all we are doing with your friends and loved ones. Tonight's episode, and this is episode 10, is going to be a bomb. We are dealing with the big one today, and that is how to recover from a broken heart. So please share this on any platform possible. Please send the link to friends. If you send the link to friends, that's how more people discover us, and that's how this podcast can grow. We are beginning to hear from friends in Zambia. We are hearing from friends in South Sudan. It's going places, and we are excited about where the Marriage Clinic Podcast is going. So please just put in the chat the time you are watching. That's if you're watching on social media platforms. If you're listening to the audio version, you can like us, you can recommend us, you can give us a 5-star rating. That will be great. All of that helps us. So come on, let's get into today's topic. Today we are looking at recovering from a broken heart. Recovering from a broken heart. If we were in church, I would say if you've ever had a broken heart, please show by hand. But I know you've had a broken heart. We've all had situations where somebody we've loved or been in a relationship with comes to tell us that sadly they don't want to continue. It may have been done in a very nice and respectful way. I hope so, where the person tells you it's over, I can't stay in this relationship. Or probably you heard about it in a much more painful way, or caught the person cheating, or situations had to force you apart. Whatever be the case, a broken heart hurts. I've been there. A broken heart really hurts. I mean, you ask yourself, how did I get into this? And how come something that used to cause me so much joy is now causing me so much pain? And today, I'm here to help you with it. You see, this is, if you're currently going through a broken heart, this is a period where you believe that the world is coming to an end. You lose interest in the things that you should be doing. You don't want to eat the things you felt like eating. You may be losing sleep. You may think you are losing your mind, and you could be going through so many different emotions at this point in time. One moment, you feel like this is the best thing. I don't like him or her. I'm moving on. The next moment, you are missing the person, and it is a painful place to be. And I'm hoping that today, with the things we talk about, I should be able to help this journey be a little bit easier. So now, let's first look at this. If you just found out that the relationship is over, you are going through a number of emotions. I'm going to talk you through some of the emotions you'll be going through. You see, there's always a pattern, and this pattern was first documented by a man called, I think it's called the Kubler-Ross model. I think so. Kubler-Ross model. You can fact check me, and I hope my pronunciation is correct. But it's the Kubler-Ross model, and it normally talks about the 5 stages of grief. But as I've observed relationships, I've also realized that we do go through the 5 stages of grief when we go through a breakup. And the first stage is denial. That's when you wake up the next morning, and for a brief moment, you're wondering, did we really break up, or was just some sick dream I had? Or am I sure this is what he really wants, or this is what she really wants? For the sake of an argument, let's just discuss it as he broke up with you. No gender bias in this, he broke up with you. It could be she broke up with you. Anyway, but the first experience you're going to have is the experience of denial. At this stage, you can't believe it's happening to you. You tell yourself, or maybe he's just joking. At this stage, it feels like sometimes you even feel like you'd rather die than go through the pain that you are currently going through. Remember that it is normal and you feel like this cannot be happening. So, stage one, you are in denial. This cannot be happening. You tell yourself relationships have their ups and downs. We will get back together. And I know situations where the person just says, no, you are breaking up with me, but I'm not breaking up with you. But the irony of it is it takes two people to be in a relationship, but it takes only one person to break a relationship. So you could be in this stage for a couple of days. You could be in this stage for months. I know people who will still not change their relationship status. They still will not tell people they've broken up for months because in their minds, it's just a blip on the radar and they are going to get back together. It is a normal phase to be in, but then comes another phase or another emotion, which is anger. This is where you begin to get angry. Yeah, this is when she begins to say things like, after all I did for him, how could he? And saying, I never even liked him in the first place. And this is where sometimes you hear ladies say things like, after you've used me, you've dumped me. And, you know, I said in other episodes, for those who probably are listening for the first time, you could catch up with all the other episodes. I've always said, never give anything in a relationship you are not willing to lose. Let me drill down on that a little bit. While you are in a relationship, you are going to be tempted to do various things. You are going to be tempted to make various sacrifices and do things that you would not normally do. Anytime you are being pushed to do something that goes against your convictions or is expensive, that could be materially expensive, emotionally expensive, spiritually expensive. The question you need to ask yourself is, since most relationships do not end in marriage, with this particular sacrifice I'm making, am I willing to do this? And how would I feel if this relationship didn't work out? This could be all the way from paying for the person's fees and to sleeping with the person or to all the other things that happen. You always need to remember in a relationship is not a marriage. I tell young ladies when I talk to them that don't give wife benefits on a girlfriend's salary. It's not my quote. I heard it and it made so much sense. Don't give wife benefits on a girlfriend's salary. So number 2 is anger. You find yourself getting angry. Number 3 is bargaining. That's when we start to, or this is when you now try to have a talk with the person. What did I do wrong? Can we work on this relationship? How far can we go? I will change. Or if it's the guy, he's saying, I'm willing to stop talking with the people that you said I shouldn't be talking to. Or I'm willing to move into the city that you are in. Will that be enough? Bargaining is when you begin to look for what you can do to get the relationship back. That is also another phase. Then from bargaining, we come into depression. This is where you are sad. You don't want to see anybody. You are playing all the sad love songs. You feel down. You don't want to hear anything about relationships. This is where you hear ladies saying things like men are scum. You hear guys saying things like fear women. And all these things you are going through and you begin to exhibit because you are depressed. For some people, even getting out of bed is a problem. For some people, doing the daily things that they can do or should be doing starts to be difficult. So realize that, yes, I've gone through the stages and now I am depressed. It's good to know where you are, because if you know where you are, then you can work at getting out of where you are. Then comes to the final one. The final one is where you come to acceptance. Acceptance. This is when you finally realize this relationship is over. You know, you think about it and you're like, nah, it doesn't look like we're getting back together. Maybe that's when you start playing the, what's this lady's song? Gloria Gaynor, or I hope I had the name right. And that's no, I will survive. You're thinking about how you are going to survive. If you are from Ghana, you are probably playing Odo Esisi Me, Oda Da Da Me. I mean, the person is now your ex. You are thinking, you've come to acceptance that this is your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend, and that is the final stage. But then all these stages don't matter if you don't know how to deal with it. So I'm just going to give you about 5 or 6 steps that could help you with dealing with a breakup. 5 or 6 steps that could help you with dealing with a breakup. So here are a few tips. Number 1, take time to grieve and cry. Guys, are you listening to me? If you're a man and you're watching this and she's broken up with you, the relationship has come to an end, and people are saying, men don't cry, it's a lie. You can cry. But just don't cry in front of your boys, because most guys who are not emotionally mature will tease you. So probably find a quiet place to cry, but it's okay to cry. It's okay to mourn a relationship that has come to an end. In fact, it is necessary you do so, because in doing so, it is part of the process of letting go. So number 1, take time to grieve and cry. Number 2, find a support system. Find a support system. I always advise people that remember that, okay, let me switch it up a bit. In life, you will always need various relationships in your life to help you be a stable person. You need to remember and understand as an individual that one person alone cannot give you all the relational needs that you have. Okay? Even when you are married. So what that means is you need to cultivate friendships. You need to cultivate relationships that I'm talking about, family relationships. You need to cultivate support systems. And maybe one day I'll talk about the different kinds of friends we have. But these are the people that help you through hard times. When you lose a spouse, when you go through a breakup, when your business collapses, whenever you go through a difficult period, it is a test to see the strength of the relationships that you have. So number 2, find a support system. That is why if you are in a relationship and the person you are dating tries to keep you away from all your friends, please realize that that is a toxic relationship. Listen, my wife has friends. I have a lot of good friends. I have a lot of good friends and people I normally call friends are people who have been friends. I've been friends with for over 15 years. I mean, I wouldn't meet you a year ago and in my mind actually think we are great friends. We are acquaintances. So what you need to understand is have a support system, have a cousin, a friend, a sister that you can go talk to, you can cry with. They can help you diss the person who broke up with you. They can eat ice cream with you. They can take you somewhere for you to try to get over it. Go play basketball with them or something, but find a support system. Then we come to number 3. Don't mope around. I mean, after you've cried, the whole world does not have to know that you've broken up. I mean, there are people who break up. I mean, just from the quotes they begin to put on social media, you know that I have a friend who is a serial dater. And when she starts to put up certain quotes, I know that the last relationship has come to an end, especially I'm committed to personal development, and in this world, the only person you can trust is you. And then they begin to show pictures of their dogs, their moms, and yeah, but don't go moping around. Don't go around being all sad. Get on with your life. Number 4, you may need to do a cleanse. You may need to get rid of things that the person gave you. Now, I say this all the time. When he gave you a necklace, the necklace was a reminder to you that he loved you. Now that he is broken up with you, the necklace is a reminder that love betrayed you. So, it may be a good idea to pack up all the things that remind you of him or her, put them in a box somewhere where they don't really get your attention. Or donate them to charity. When I was younger and radical and less wise, I used to advise that have a bonfire. For heaven's sake, some of the things, just light them up. But whatever it is, you will need to have a cleanse. And that's getting rid of gifts, pictures and reminders. And now in the social media life, or this season of social media, you may need to go and delete pictures. You may need to go and untag photos. You may need to go and unfollow, but you need to get rid of the things that remind you of the person, because you can't move on if you have your leg tied to items that are around your room, around your house. And sometimes it even involves avoiding certain people. All right? And if you can send some of the things back, give them to a friend to send them back. All right? Brings us to the next one. That is number 5. Go on a dating leave. This, in my opinion, in all the steps, is the most important step you need to have. And for me, the rule of thumb is this: do not engage in a relationship for, I believe, 6 months is best. You can work with 3 months. So for between 3 to 6 months after a breakup, do not be in another relationship. Oh, yes, but Josh, we are only chatting. No, not just only chatting. Do not be in another relationship. Do not be entertaining conversations with one particular person on a persistent basis, because it may not be an official relationship, but the person is giving you what your ex may have been giving you or more. If you don't take a break, you cannot reflect and do the right things that will help you in your next relationship. All right? So, go on a dating leave or a sabbatical. Then number 6, develop yourself. The greatest revenge you can ever have, and I use the word revenge lightly, you can ever have against your ex is for your ex to meet you and you're on another level. Work on yourself, go back to school, hit the gym, start to read books. Do things that make you a better person and make you think in a different way. Go on travel, and travel doesn't have to be expensive. Go on travel, do the things you have to do, but just make sure you begin to develop yourself. And number 7, which I will, number 7 is spend time in solitude and get closer to God. I'm a person of faith. I mean, if you followed me for a while, you know now. I'm a person of faith. And the truth is, nothing heals a broken heart like God. And sometimes you just need to cry out to God and say, God, this hurts. This has been hitting real hard for a while now. And I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Please help me. Please get me through this. And this is a period where you go back to God and you go to God and you say, God, where did I go wrong? I mean, with a pen and paper, you ask yourself, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong? And sometimes after you've got through the depression and the sadness, you may realize that you tend to date the wrong people, or maybe you give too much in a relationship, or maybe you don't give enough in a relationship. But as you go before God in solitude and you spend time with God, working on your relationship with God and making Him first place in your life, it helps you to recover. Then we come to number 8. Get back on the horse. Get back on the horse. Get back on the horse. What does get back on the horse mean? Don't give up on dating because of one failed relationship. Hey, I had 4 failed relationships before you're saying 4. Yes, I had 4 failed relationships before I finally met my wife, and within a year we were married. So what happens? You can't give up on love because you haven't yet met someone who treats you right. So you get involved. You go to places where you can meet the right kind of people. Where do we meet the right kind of people? You see, here's the thing. You most likely are not going to meet a guy who will treat you right at the club at 12 in the night or 1 a.m. Okay? You are more likely to meet a good guy at probably an entrepreneurship workshop for young people, just ask yourself, what kind of person am I looking for? And the kind of person I'm looking for, where do they hang out? And sometimes they hang out in church. But remember, the fact that the guy is in church doesn't mean he's a saint. And the fact that the lady is in church doesn't mean she's a saint. Because in actuality, the church is a hospital and everybody's having some form of treatment. So we still check. I'm going to do something about how to know if the person is right to date later on. But take time, reflect, get back on the horse, and then do the things that I recommend you do before you get into the relationship. So, hey, these have been some quick tips on how to get through a broken heart. My name is Joshua Mogri. You should look for me on all social media platforms. On Twitter is Dr. Joshua Mogri. On Instagram is Dr. Joshua Mogri. On Facebook is Dr. Joshua Mogri. On TikTok is Joshua Mogri. LinkedIn is Dr. Joshua Mogri. So please look for me wherever. When you find me, please follow. On YouTube is Dr. Joshua Mogri. Click for notifications. We have so much. We have so much material out there. I mean, we have years of material out there. So you can go watch old videos or listen to old podcasts. So just look for me on every platform that is available. Please like, please follow, please share with friends. Please leave a comment. Please leave a recommendation so that other people can see what we are doing. But it has been a pleasure coming to you with the Marriage Clinic podcast. The Marriage Clinic podcast. Please remember, this is a podcast on love, marriage, and personal development. I'm committed to see you have a great love life, have a great relationship that leads to a great marriage, and that leads to you being the best kind of person you can be, doing the best kind of good you can do, raising the best kind of family you can raise, and living your best life. So, hey, God bless you. Thank you for being a part of this. It's been great. And I pray for you if you are going through a broken heart. I pray that God helps you in this season. You are able to get through this period of experiencing a broken heart and come out stronger and better. So once again, my name is Joshua Mogri. Take good care of yourself. You will hear from me or see me again next week, Thursday at 8 p.m. GMT, because we're broadcasting from Ghana, West Africa. God bless you.